Salutations, friends and family. My name is Jordan and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different than I usually do. Instead of going the route of doing a cover, I've actually just got an announcement and some tips and tricks for my fellow musicians that I wanted to share with you guys. So if you guys like this, just let me know by giving me feedback. You can either give me a like or a comment telling me that you enjoy the content, or otherwise you can also tell me if this is not something that you want me to keep doing. And of course, I'd also love to hear any other suggestions you guys might have. Leave me a comment down below and I will get back to you. Alright, so let's get into the content of this video. As you may remember from the last video, which you can check out up here, I talked about providing the backing tracks to all of my videos, which I do write myself. I am happy to announce that those are available on my website now. The link to that is down below in the description if you are interested in grabbing some of those. I hope these will be helpful to you as a fellow creator, and I hope that they inspire you. So as of right now, I have 3 of the tracks uploaded in a zip file called Volume 1. There will be more coming out as time goes on, so the more of these videos that I create, the more that I'll end up writing, and the more I'll have uploaded on the website. Over time, you guys will see that there will be more than one volume, and I'll give you updates as well on that through these videos and also through my website on my blog. So yeah, if you guys want to check those out, again, just check out my website and get downloading. I hope they help you create something great. Alright, so moving forward, I also wanted to share with you guys a couple of tips that help me personally when I'm in a slump, when I'm kind of feeling frustrated about my playing or my singing or my creativity in general. So I just wanted to share a couple of tips to budding musicians or musicians that are just getting back into it after having a break for a long time or anything like that, that might help you kind of break out of that slump. So obviously, as we know, music is fun. It's a great release, and music just gives you a feeling that really nothing else in this world does. It is one of my biggest passions in life, and I know that there are a lot of people that feel the same way about it. So I wanted to share these with you to help you grow as well. So number 1, the first thing that I see a lot of musicians get into this discouraged mode, myself included, I am definitely guilty of this, is falling into the trap of comparison instead of inspiration. And what I mean by that is you go online and say you're learning guitar and you find this absolute virtuoso shredder that is just miles ahead of wherever you think you are, and you get discouraged. You say, I couldn't even dream of that. I don't even understand what they're doing. Their fingers are moving so fast. But what I'm here to tell you is that they were where you are too. So don't let that stop you from continuing on and finding joy in what you're doing. There's so much more to playing guitar than just playing fast. And as time goes on, you'll find your own style. You'll find what works for you. You'll find the things that make sense to you as a musician that are your own brand. Now, I'm not saying not to listen to these guitarists that are so great, because they are inspiring. It's a great way to see where you could potentially end up if you keep practicing your craft. That's not to say you will sound like any one of them necessarily, because you're going to develop your own style, and eventually, hopefully, you'll inspire someone else. So just 2 things. Obviously, time spent gawking could be time spent practicing. So yes, listen to them, but don't stay fixated on it. Move forward and keep doing what you're doing, because you'll get there too. I know it. And second, just use listening to others to relate, not to repeat. So you don't have to necessarily be a clone of what exactly they're doing. You can develop your own ideas from them, but don't necessarily just try to copy them, because it's better to add your own twist to it. Alright, number 2. When you are going online and looking for this song that you absolutely love and you want to learn how to play it, there's no chart. And this happens to me all the time, because a lot of the music that I listen to isn't necessarily, top 40, so millions of other musicians aren't necessarily listening to it and constantly writing down the chords and figuring them out and then posting them up on tab websites. And as a beginner or somebody who's just getting started with music, that might be frustrating to you, not being able to find the resources to what it is you're trying to learn. So the next thing I wanted to share with you is something I actually plan on making a longer video about, is finding root notes in songs. When you're listening to a song and you don't have a chart, there's still a method to find out what exactly they're playing. It's a craft that you can perfect. It's easy to get started, but very difficult to master. There are lots of exceptions to the rules, but overall, just basically speaking, no pun intended, if you listen to what the bass is doing in the song, you can actually find out what chords they're playing. At the very least, you can get a basic grasp of what the song is like. If you're learning guitar or piano or another instrument just for the sake of accompanying yourself singing, then this is a great exercise because it will help you to accompany yourself without having to rely on finding other musicians. You can just do it yourself, and that can be a rewarding process too. Once you get this craft down, it opens up a lot of opportunities for you. And the more you do this, the more you'll recognize the patterns that happen, because music is patterns. And over time, you'll just get so good at it that you can do that almost second nature. And then you won't necessarily have to rely on finding tabs online or asking somebody in the comments, what are the chords you're playing? Because you'll already know. All right, and the third tip that I wanted to share with you is to recognize burnout. It is okay to take a break, but a break is not to take a break and just never come back to it. The definition of a break is to leave something for a period of time with the intention of coming back to it. So if you find yourself in a rut and you decide, hey, I'm reaching diminishing marginal returns, I'm not getting what I want out of this, I'm gonna stop for a second. That's okay, that's fine. Rest is important. Whether that's to rest your fingers from just playing too much, or if it's to rest your voice from singing too much, or if it's to rest your brain from processing too much. It's so important, and don't let yourself get frustrated just because you're not making like tons of progress immediately. It doesn't necessarily have to go like that. Take music at your own pace and you will get there, because if you don't rest, you'll end up starting to look at it as less of a joy and less of a release and more of a chore. And when you start to look at it as a chore, then it becomes something that you're not going to want to do, and you're going to want to say, I could be playing guitar, but I would rather play Destiny. Or I could be playing piano, but I'd rather watch the show on Netflix. Once you start looking at it like that, it prevents you from having the desire to go forward and make progress with your craft. So take breaks, relax, do go watch the show, do go play the video game, but come back to it once you feel refreshed. The other cool thing that comes from taking breaks and not doing just music all the time is you get inspiration from other things in life. If you're a writer or a composer, just going out and listening to something else, just going out and watching something, going out and just taking a nap and having a cool dream could all inspire you to do something more with your playing. And having that kind of a goal in mind also helps you to move forward as well, because it's not something abstract like, oh, I want to be able to shred. It's, oh, I want to be able to play this riff, or I want to be able to evoke this emotion. And once you have that clear goal in mind, then you can start making a roadmap on how to get there, rather than having this abstract idea of wanting to be a virtuoso but not knowing any of the ways to get there. So the big thing that I wanted you guys to take from this is that you are yourself and not anyone else, and you have a responsibility to yourself to take care of yourself. How many times can I say yourself? But anyway, I just want you guys to know that it's okay to be who you are, and it's okay to be where you are. Everybody who's great has been in your shoes at some point, and that should be an encouragement to you and not a discouragement. So I just wanted to give you guys a couple positive words. I'm so glad that you guys made it through the video. I wanted to just say thank you so much for being who you are. There is no one else like you. I love you. Be well. Peace. Enjoy the rest of your week.